So we just have to watch this?
Well,
Newcastle are making unexpected moves in a transfer window that Eddie Howe sees as defining. Today we have important updates, from revealing Newcastle's triple signings to finding out about an agreement from David Ornstein between Newcastle United and their Premier League rivals, to discussing the Sky Sports exclusive as Saudis are in talks with Newcastle for talented winger, to revealing the Juventus player Newcastle United has recently opened talks to sign. We'll also provide the latest updates regarding two Newcastle United centre-back targets, as well as break down Newcastle's double sell to beat the Premier League's profit and sustainability regulations.
The hardest choices require the strongest wills.
Join us as we uncover the latest Newcastle United news. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because you won't want to miss a single moment of this incredible journey.
let's go.
Starting off, in an official announcement made in the early hours of Monday morning, Newcastle United revealed that they have sold winger Yankuba Minteh to fellow Premier League side Brighton and Hove Albion. The brief club statement contained only 3 lines, simply stating that the 19-year-old Gambia international, who joined Newcastle from Danish side OB last summer, has now moved to the South Coast club on a permanent basis. No details were provided about the transfer fee, but it was widely reported that a £33 million agreement had been reached between the two clubs. This represents a significant profit for Newcastle, as Minteh was said to have cost around £6.5 million when he initially signed for the Magpies. It's a rather surreal situation, as Minteh never actually played a game for Newcastle United, having spent the entirety of the 2023-24 season on loan at Feyenoord. The brief club statement concluded by wishing Minteh well for the future. The decision to sell Minteh so soon after his arrival at St James's Park suggests that the move was primarily driven by Newcastle's need to ensure they ended up on the right side of the Premier League's profitability and sustainability regulations, PSR, for the latest accounting year, which ended on June 30th, 2024. In another development, Newcastle United also confirmed the departure of highly rated 21-year-old midfielder Elliot Anderson to fellow Premier League club Nottingham Forest for a reported fee of £35 million. Anderson, who had been with the Magpies Academy since the age of 8, made his professional debut for the club in January 2021 and went on to make 55 senior appearances for Newcastle in all competitions. The young midfielder impressed during a brief loan spell at Bristol Rovers in the second half of the 2021-22 season, which saw him return to Tyneside and rejoin the first-team squad under manager Eddie Howe. Anderson was regarded as an invaluable squad player for Howe last season, featuring 26 times despite an injury-hit campaign. The Whitley Bay-born midfielder was also considered a popular figure within the Newcastle dressing room and among the club's passionate supporters. However, just like Minteh, Newcastle have reluctantly made the decision to sell the highly rated Anderson in order to balance their books and avoid potential breaches of the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. The Magpies were aware that they risked a possible points deduction for the upcoming season if they failed to generate sufficient funds from player sales before the June 30th deadline. Anderson's departure comes as Newcastle find themselves in a tricky financial predicament, with the club needing to raise funds through player sales to comply with the league's financial regulations. Despite the obvious reluctance to part ways with one of their most promising young talents, the Tyneside club have ultimately decided that the sale of Anderson is a necessary measure to ensure they avoid potential sanctions from the Premier League. The 21-year-old midfielder has now joined Nottingham Forest on a 5-year contract that runs until June 2029. Forest's chief football officer, Ross Wilson, expressed the club's excitement at securing the services of the highly rated youngster. "We are all delighted to welcome Elliot to Nottingham Forest, and pleased that he has chosen to continue to develop his talent with us in the Premier League," Wilson told the club's official website. "We are sure he will thrive in a Forest shirt, as other players in his age profile have done." Posting on X after his move to Nottingham, Anderson said, "It's been a dream come true to represent my club for 14 years. Pulling that black and white shirt on at St. James Park is a moment that will never be taken away from me. I would like to thank everyone involved with the club and all the Geordies that have supported me throughout my journey. I will always support the club and wish nothing but the best for everyone involved. As one door closes, another one opens. Thank you." In an interesting twist, Anderson's transfer comes as part of a separate deal that has also seen a Nottingham Forest player move to Newcastle United on a permanent basis, departing the City ground after just one season with the Tricky Trees.
Look at us. Hey, look at us. Look at us. Huh? Who would have thought? Not me.
In a busy 48-hour period, Newcastle United have announced 3 new signings to bolster their squad ahead of the upcoming season. The first arrival is goalkeeper Odysseus Vlachodimos, who has joined the club on a permanent deal from Nottingham Forest. The Greek international's transfer was confirmed in the early hours of the morning shortly after the Premier League's Profit and Sustainability Regulations (PSR) deadline. The 30-year-old has made a permanent move to St James's Park, but the transfer fee and length of contract have not been disclosed. Vlachodimos joined Forest from Benfica last summer for a reported £7.7 million, but he departs the City ground after making just 7 first-team appearances in his solitary season at the club. The shot-topper becomes Newcastle's second summer arrival after Lloyd Kelly and boasts significant European and international experience, making 41 career appearances in the Champions League and earning 42 senior international caps for Greece. Born in Stuttgart, Vlachodimos began his career with Bundesliga club Stuttgart before spending 2.5 years in Greece with Panathinaikos. Vlachodimos then spent 5 years with Portuguese giants Benfica, keeping 94 clean sheets in 225 appearances and winning 2 Premier League titles. Speaking to Newcastle's official website about his arrival, Vlachodimos said, "I am very happy to be joining Newcastle United. It's an honor for me to be part of this huge club with excellent players and a great coach. I can't wait to get started." Manager Eddie Howe also added, saying, "Odysseus is very experienced at elite European and international level, and he joins a strong group of senior goalkeepers. That strength in depth is valuable and means we go into the new season with strong competition in a key area. Vlachodimos will be hoping to compete with Nick Pope and Martin Dubravka for the number 1 jersey at Newcastle, although the latter is believed to be facing an uncertain future at St James's Park. Dubravka, who has 1 year left on his contract, is seemingly at risk of slipping down to 3rd choice in the pecking order, and is believed to be keen to gain regular first-team football, which could lead to an exit this summer.
Hello, I'm Odysseus. I'm very happy to be joining Newcastle United. It's an honor for me to be part of that huge club with excellent players and coach. Can't wait to get started.
Meanwhile, next, the Magpies then announced the completion of Lewis Hall's £28 million move to St James's Park. Hall had spent the previous season on loan at Newcastle and has now signed a long-term contract with the club. Speaking after the announcement was made, Lewis Hall said,
"When I was younger, I think obviously I was a Newcastle fan, like all my family was, but I think I never realised how big of a following Newcastle had until I arrived here. The support here is incredible, and the clubs are massive clubs, and the whole sort of city evolves around Newcastle, so you know the support that there is behind you. It was a sort of a tough start for me personally, but yeah, everyone have sort of supported me along the way, and even though it was a difficult time for me, they've stuck by me, and I feel like I've improved massively some aspects of my game. So yeah, it's amazing to have that sort of support. I think looking back on it now, it's made me mentally a lot stronger than I was before. There was a few months of patiently having to wait where I thought I was ready, but tactically and technically you've got to be superb, and it was just waiting for my opportunity to come. A lot of things I can improve on to get to the very, very best level, but yeah, I do believe in myself, and I think one of the best sort of experiences that I've had in my career so far.
Regarding Lewis Hall, Howe added, "Lewis was a very good addition to our squad last season, and we have been delighted with his progress and his contribution to the team. I'm very pleased to continue working with him. As well as being a talented player, he has a great attitude towards the game and to his own development, and I'm excited for this next part of his journey in a Newcastle United shirt." While the third signing announcement of the day was that veteran goalkeeper John Ruddy has joined Newcastle on a free transfer after leaving Birmingham City at the end of the 2023-24 season. The 37-year-old has put pen to paper on a 1-year contract at St James's Park. In total, these 3 signings, along with the previous arrival of Lloyd Kelly from Bournemouth, take Newcastle's summer transfer activity up to 4 new additions. Commenting on the new signing, Magpies manager Eddie Howe expressed his delight at the club's business. Howe said, "I'm pleased to welcome John to Newcastle United. He has a huge amount of experience and adds a level of support and competition that we need. As well as his abilities on the pitch, he has a strong mentality and he is a leader, which will only benefit the group. These three signings, coupled with the previous arrival of Lloyd Kelly, have provided a significant boost to Newcastle's squad as they prepare for the upcoming Premier League campaign. But tell me, what are your thoughts? Then moving on, Juventus midfielder Arthur Melo has emerged as a potential summer transfer target for both Newcastle United, Everton and Wolverhampton, according to reports from Italian outlet Totosport via Juventus News 24 as well transfer expert Nicolo Schira. The 27-year-old Brazilian international endured a difficult spell at Juventus after joining the club in 2020, followed by an unsuccessful loan move to Liverpool last season. However, Arthur was able to reignite his career with a decent spell at Fiorentina in the 2023-24 campaign. Despite his improved form, Fiorentina are not willing to pay the reported €20 million fee to sign Arthur on a permanent basis. As a result, the former Barcelona midfielder will return to Juventus this summer, but the Bianconeri are reportedly keen to offload him and free up space on their wage bill. This has now sparked interest from both Newcastle United and Everton, who are said to be the latest clubs to enter the race for Arthur's signature. The Magpies are reportedly scouring the market for a new midfielder, with Elliot Anderson's recent departure to Nottingham Forest and the uncertain future of Sean Longstaff leaving a void in their squad. Speaking to Rai 2, relayed by Tuttosport, Arthur's agent Federico Pastorello has said that he's working on finding a new club for his client. Arthur is not in Juventus's plans, that is a public fact. We are working hard to find the best solution after a brilliant season at Fiorentina, where he showed his qualities. We are talking to various clubs. There will be news in the next few weeks, he said. Arthur's tumultuous few years have seen his career spiral after initially impressing at Barcelona. The 27-year-old will be hoping a move to the Premier League can help him rediscover his best form and reignite his career. It remains to be seen whether Newcastle or Everton will emerge victorious in their pursuit of the Brazilian midfielder, but both clubs will be hoping to secure his services as they look to strengthen their squads ahead of the upcoming season. Then there has been some recent developments regarding Newcastle's centre-back targets Riccardo Calafiori and Dean Huijsen. On Riccardo Calafiori, Fabrizio Romano said, "After initial plan to keep Riccardo Calafiori, Bologna now feel that will be almost impossible. Bologna anticipate big proposals for Calafiori soon. Juventus have players green light since May, but still no agreement with Bologna. Premier League clubs now keen. Obviously, Newcastle United are one of the Premier League clubs interested, so it will be interesting to see whether Newcastle will be able to fend off the competition to secure Riccardo Calafiori's signature." While regarding Dean Huijsen, Fabrizio Romano said, "Dean Huijsen, still expected to leave Juventus in the next days, as price tag will be around €25 million plus add-ons. There's interest from several clubs with Juve ready to sell him, waiting for the best proposal. Juve will sign at least one more centre-back." Then, according to various reliable sources in a significant move, Manchester United have finally secured the services of Dan Ashworth, agreeing a compensation package with Newcastle United for the experienced football administrator. The two clubs have been engaged in lengthy negotiations for months, ever since United's part owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe identified Ashworth as a key target to overhaul the club's off-field operations. Ratcliffe, who acquired a 27.7% stake in the club, has been keen to reshape United's backroom team. Ashworth, the former Brighton and Football Association chief, joined Newcastle in 2022 and was poised to play a crucial role in the Magpies' long-term aspirations. However, the lure of the Manchester United project has now proven too strong, as the Red Devils have broken the impasse in talks. As initially reported by The Athletic's David Ornstein, the agreement brings an end to months of speculation surrounding Ashworth's future. Previously, it was understood that the two clubs were significantly apart in their valuation of the 53-year-old, with United only willing to offer £3 million in compensation to Newcastle. However, the latest reports indicate that a breakthrough has been achieved and Ashworth is now set to complete his protracted switch to Old Trafford. In his new role, Ashworth will be given a broad remit, overseeing the club's football performance, recruitment, and broader operations. In a joint statement, the two clubs confirmed the agreement, stating, "Newcastle United and Manchester United have reached an agreement for the immediate release of Dan Ashworth from his contractual obligations at Newcastle United. The terms of this agreement remain confidential between the clubs. Newcastle United thanks Dan for his services and wishes him well for the future." Then, in a significant development, Sky Sports' Keith Downie has reported that Newcastle United are in talks to sell midfielder Miguel Almiron to a Saudi Pro League club. The Magpies have been busy in the July transfer window, having already secured 3 new signings and generated £68 million in sales. This latest potential move involving Almiron is part of the club's efforts to manage their financial fair play (FFP) obligations. Downie's exclusive report suggests that with the opening of the Saudi transfer window, Newcastle are now looking to cash in on the Paraguayan international. The details of the potential fee and the specific Saudi club involved are not yet clear, but the talks are said to be underway. The news comes on the heels of Newcastle's recent sales of Elliot and Yankuba Minteh, as well as the departure of sporting director Dan Ashworth, who has joined Manchester United. Almiron, 30, has been a key figure for Newcastle since joining the club in 2019 from Atlanta United. The attacking midfielder has made over 150 appearances for the Magpies, establishing himself as a fan favorite with his tireless work rate and occasional moments of individual brilliance. However, with Newcastle's ambitious plans to challenge for trophies and secure European qualification, the club may feel that the time is right to cash in on Almiron and reinvest the funds into strengthening other areas of the squad. While the potential move to the Saudi Pro League is still in the early stages, this update from Sky Sports highlights the dynamic nature of Newcastle's transfer activities as they navigate the complexities of FFP regulations while aiming to build a squad capable of competing at the highest levels of the game. And finally, if you want to watch another Newcastle United related exclusive, click the video on screen now.
What can I say except you're welcome?